afternoon, everybody. I am absolutely delighted today to be in the presence of our lovely Angela Davey. Angela, for those of you that may not know her, is the immediate past president for ARLA Propertymark. And also, she is the head of lettings for Peter Allen. Peter Allen is part of the large Connells group. And more importantly to all of the ARLA Propertymark members, Ange is one of my very valued members who sits on the ARLA board, and she represents the whole of Wales. So this lady knows everything about Wales, hence this is why we're doing the interview today. So thank you so much, Ange, for joining us on this video today.
No problem.
So there's going to be some big changes coming up, and I wonder if you could actually talk to us a little bit about what's actually going on in your region. First of all, can we start with the current position of what it looks like at the moment in Wales?
So a brief summary of the Act. And the Act was based on the Law Commission in 2006 when they brought out a report. It was amended by the Renting Homes Amendment Wales Act back in 2021 because of COVID. So a number of changes were brought forward then. What it is designed to do, I guess, is to allow a single legal framework for both social housing and the private rental sector in Wales, so that everybody is basically using the same legal framework. It enables a single social tenancy for Wales. So in other words, there's one contract, okay, for the whole of Wales. So that's really a good thing. It's going to clarify rights and responsibilities on written contracts, because I don't know whether you're aware, but some people go into properties with nothing written at all. This will facilitate it to be absolutely necessary to have a written contract. The actual model contracts themselves are very available, and you can actually download them from the Rent Smart Wales website. So everyone can use these contracts. It actually gives us two types of contracts, which are very, very specific and specifically to be used in two types of accommodation. The first one is the secure contract, which gives a massive high level of security, which is protected by law. And those secure contracts are going to be offered to everyone in social housing. So those contracts can give security of tenure for 5, 10, 15, however long, many years. The local authorities are happy to keep that particular contract going. The other type of contract is going to be just the standard contract. And that contract is the one that we're going to be used in the private rental sector. It gives a lower level of security under law, but greater security actually can be agreed through fixed terms as we know them now. So that particular contract is going to completely replace the assured short-hold tenancy agreement, which is the standard contracts that we normally use in the private rental sector. And it also gives a legal basis for supported housing. So if somebody becomes vulnerable, they are given under law more legal standing. So that's just a kind of a high level view of the Act itself.
That's great. Thank you. Thanks so much for that update. I just wonder if you could possibly give us the key features of the Act.
Okay, so the things that the Act is going to address, first and foremost, is fitness for human habitation. Those are the obligations for the landlords, and that's really quite a big one. It will also address retaliatory evictions, which it never has done before. It's going to make it more flexible for joint contracts. It's going to increase the notice period, as we know, from 2 months to 6 months. There will be no mandatory grounds at all now for eviction. It will all be discretionary grounds, okay? It will also enhance things like succession rights. It's going to completely streamline the procedure of repossessions on abandoned dwellings as well, which is going to be great for us. And it creates a sort of a tenure of specific supported accommodation for those who need that within the private rental sector. The other key features are the Section 21 won't be used. It will be a Section 173 notice with a 6-month notice period. And it'll restrict the use of the first 6 months tenure. So the first tenancy, no matter what, is going to be a minimum term of 12 months.
Okay, and how do you, this is quite a fundamental change, and certainly this is something that they're thinking of bringing in over the other side into the English, as you know, into our sector. How are your landlords generally feeling about these huge changes which are actually coming up?
It's kind of playing into the space of people like us who are the professionals. We're getting a lot of licensed landlords who normally only use agents to find tenants. They're actually coming over to us on a fully managed basis now because they are a little bit nervous about going into this new regime of tenancy reform. So we are literally holding their hands at the moment, and we are sending out communication to them on a fairly regular basis. And we also have people at the other end of the phone that can answer questions. So I think as far as our organisation goes, and certainly Propertymark and any if you like, regulated body, I think the regulated bodies are now going to come into their own. So particularly over something which is so huge, assured short hold tenancies, I've been using them for over 30 years, and all of a sudden they're not going to be written anymore. So for people that have been in the business a long time, of course, it's a huge change, but it also gives you the ability to show your professionalism and your understanding of these.
So really, there's some real positives coming out of this.
I think so.
In actual fact, that, you know, using a professional agent, using, you know, somebody who actually knows what they're doing, is actually going to, hopefully, you know, without the regulation that we've all been desperate to get, ROPA, that this actually could be a really good start into what we are hoping to achieve with ROPA.
I think so, Maxine. I think it's going to be a real game changer. And it's going to be, we're going to be finding ourselves in situations where we're going to be speaking to more landlords than we ever have. So I would say it's a really positive thing. A big change like this is a massive head and shoulders for us to say, look, you know, we are the professionals, we understand it, we can look after you through this period. Come to us, we can educate you, we can help you, we can put our arms around you for the first 12 months. After that, when you're bedded in and you understand how to deal with issues, then by all means, we can go back to the arrangements that we had before. So I think it's going to be really, really good.
That's brilliant. Well, thank you so much, because I think that is sending out a fantastic positive message. I know that there's been a lot of people being very, very nervous over the abolishment of Section 21, and it certainly is going to be Wales that's going to be, you know, feeling it and really feeding back to us. And this sounds to me as if it's going to take away some of the pain that some people are thinking it could be. I will look forward to actually seeing what happens. So thank you.
That's all right, Maxine. And just to let you know also that these kind of changes in Wales are going to come out in sort of over a period of time. So currently we've got the fitness for human habitation, that's already out. The model written statements or occupation contracts, they're out to be viewed. The explanation about retaliatory evictions, that is already out. And then the next lot of changes will be announced probably late March, early April. So maybe we'll have another chat then, and I'll let you know how things are like down here in happy South Wales.
Thank you. And thank you again for your time today, Ange. It's really invaluable, and I think the members are going to really enjoy listening to this. So thank you, and we'll
All right.
see you soon.